Thanks for watching WWAY at 11. I'm Joe Mauceri. It's even more important that applicants do their best to try and stand out from the rest of the crowd. But for small businesses, new regulations mean swiping a card allows credit card companies to swipe their profits. According to the Leland Town ordinance, a flagpole can't be more than 40 feet high. But this one here at the Buy and Go gas station is 60 feet high, or 10 of me stacked on top of each other. And experts say the industry is only going to continue to grow over the next few years right here in the port city. But not everybody realizes the effort that goes into making these fireworks light up the night. But pedestrian traffic isn't all that businesses are worried about. They also have to worry about the construction's effect on the film industry. And beach erosion might be the biggest concern. As you can see on these dunes here, the tide line came up pretty far, and we've got some houses that are just on the other side of these dunes. Steve, that's right. We're still about an hour away, but all the early signs here show there's going to be a strong showing from both sides in support and opposition from Titan Cement. And there's no buts about it. The proposed smoking ban at Wrightsville Beach has caught the attention of all beachgoers. To give you an idea of just how big these pipes are, these are the lines that will replace the broken water main once they are able to fix it. Now,
no, I don't comment on that.
well, they've been, they've been upset because your apprentice's mother-in-law. I mean, you don't think the people of Bladen County deserve an answer?
Well, I didn't comment on that.
So was there a reason that you wanted to nominate him for the position?
I have confidence in him. He's been the sheriff. He did a good job, and I thought he would be an excellent person to continue in that capacity.
Do you feel that way now, given the fact that...
Yes, I do. I really do.
A bill that could give new life to the proposed Titan Cement plant in Castle Hayne is on the verge of becoming law. The county still has to make up $7 of the $11 million budget shortfall. But at today's meeting, balancing the budget put the commissioners on edge. I'll tell you what, some of those workers look like they were in a tropical depression of their own today. One of the pedestrians hit by a car in Wrightsville Beach last weekend is out of the hospital. Tonight, I spoke with Commissioner Delilah Blanks. She didn't say much, but she finally said something. I've never seen one, and I know they're very dangerous things, but from storm chasers and things like that, I've always wanted to see a tornado up close. The pilot, hailed as a hero for safely landing a U.S. Airways plane in New York's Hudson River last year, is retiring. Airlie Gardens has been a hot topic for the last few weeks, ever since New Hanover County Commission Chair Jason Thompson floated the idea of selling it to help close a budget gap. Okay, I have to admit, I'm a snacker. I'll snack on fruit when I'm going around the grocery store.
Okay.
But I don't know if they would consider that in the stolen department as much as the snacking department. I'm going to go with lipstick on this one. I think it's easy, and women usually carry purses. It fits right in there to hide.
So it's the female offenders on this one.
I'm sorry, ladies. The warning, don't drink it, don't use it. Even though crews have fixed a major water main break, people are still hurting for H2O tonight. Crews have worked all day to fix the water main break, which happened around 10 a.m. Friday. The Cape Fear Public Utility Authority says it had to shut down one of two main lines to make repairs. When it reopened the line, the pressure caused the water main to burst.
The pipe that broke is a pipe that's over 80 years old. It looks like fatigue. Just got old, and it cracked and blew out on the bottom.
The burst caused several city and county offices to shut down for the day. Even the medical mall next to New Hanover Regional Medical Center was forced to turn away patients because of the break.
I brought my daughter down who had some lab work to have done today. We didn't know until we drove up. I saw the pink signs as I was driving. I thought, oh no, it's something wrong.
CFPUA issued a boil water advisory for all customers, as well as a stage 4 water conservation, which means essential use only through the weekend. More than 100,000 customers are affected, and 2 to 3 million gallons of water were lost. That sent New Hanover County residents flocking to their local stores to find whatever water was left.
This case, which normally holds 25 gallons of water at any one given time, is sold out in about 3 hours.
CFPUA says the water is safe to use for showering and washing dishes, but they recommend boiling water used for cooking and drinking through the weekend. And the authority is stressing the extreme conservation advisory. Unnecessary use could result in a $500 fine or your service shut off. Greg, the oil leak is about 1,000 miles from our coast, but local BP franchises say they've been spewing red ink since the leak started more than 70 days ago. Today, BP said it would extend a financial fuel line to those small gas station owners.
They should have had something in place that would accommodate a disaster like this.
Frustrated by the Gulf oil spill, many drivers have decided to boycott their local BP gas stations. Some local franchise owners say their sales are down 40% since the April 20th oil rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico. But there are more than 11,000 BP stations across the U.S. Most of them are owned by local businessmen who simply have a contract to buy BP gasoline and use their logo.
They have all their life savings in their little franchises, and so you can't blame them nor boycott the local gas station.
Tuesday, BP announced it would try and pump some financial fuel into the local franchises. The oil giant will give BP brand stations cash, reduce credit card fees, and help with national advertising. The total investment is expected to be between $50 and $70 million.
You know, they are trying, so we need to kind of, be receptive to that. At least they're trying.
Once they get the money, local owners can use it however they want, which could mean discounts at the pump for those loyal BP customers. Now, local gas station owners did not want to talk on camera because they had not heard about the extra support as of yet. BP franchise owners can still file a claim to receive support from the $20 billion compensation fund if they choose. As for the oil leak, officials say Tropical Storm Alex could delay the repair effort by at least 2 weeks. Friday's wage increase will be the last of 3 increases that started in 2007, when minimum wage was $5.15 an hour. Since then, minimum wage has increased by $2.10, a 40% increase for the lowest paid workers.
I feel like it's about time. I got bills, my phone bill about to kill me, and I can't pay it no more. I need this raise.
70 cents per hour may not seem like much, but for full-time minimum wage workers like Carlos Simpson, the increase will mean almost $30 more in their weekly paycheck.
That could be a haircut, that could be some gas, that could be anything. I might go to the club twice in 1 week.
Minimum wage going up is good news for those who have a job, but experts say the increase could ultimately make more people wind up here at the unemployment office.
So as the rates go up, the employees who get to keep their job are happy. But overall, either people get less hours, which impacts them, or they lose their job.
At small businesses like Coastal Cupcakes, the additional 70 cents per employee per hour adds up quick. A company with 10 employees will pay almost $300 more per week. For the month, the payroll will increase by more than $1,000. For Coastal Cupcakes, it means they can't hire the additional employees they need.
But right now, this is the max number of employees that we can afford to have at this time at this rate.
But Beckmeyer says she'll take every step to avoid parting with an employee.
Before laying anybody off, our first reaction would be to decrease hours, and we as the owners would come in and work more hours.
Hours she won't bill herself for later. In Wilmington, Joe Mauceri, WWAY, News Channel 3.
Just saw me one day and tooted the horn, rolled his window down, and told me to get in.
It's been more than 30 years since Jay met R.C. Souls. He was just 13 years old when he says Souls molested him.
How did you feel when this was happening?
How do you think? I mean, I was appalled and socially embarrassed, psychologically scarred. Coming from an area like Tabor City, well, you know, that's not exactly the kind of thing that you would talk about.
Jay says Souls molested him on more than one occasion, but he was too scared to come forward.
Did you think you would be punished as a 13-year-old if you told on him?
Yes. A state senator, a 13-year-old kid, somebody with that much power in a small town like Tabor City, population probably 1,800, farming community.
Jay says rumors of Souls' actions filled Tabor City. His own family joked about sexual relationships with Souls as a rite of passage for young boys.
And I thought they were just kidding, but my God, after the encounter, it wasn't a joke anymore. It wasn't funny at all, believe me. You know what I mean? you hear rumors and you think, nah, it can't be. And then when it happens, it's like, oh my God, I should have known better. And I should have then.
Do you blame yourself?
Yeah, a lot of times I do.
Why?
Because I should have went to my mother and father.
Instead, Jay left Tabor City to live with other family members, but he couldn't leave the memories behind. He says graphic images of what happened decades ago still cause him constant panic attacks.
Just knowing.
Take your time.
All right.
Take your time.
All right. Cut.
Okay. Take all the time you need.
Focus, focus, focus. See what I mean? I mean, his reputation was, and I didn't even know who the guy was the first time. I know some guy pulls up in a brand new damn Lincoln Continental, throws the door open, you're a little 13-year-old kid, you're like, oh boy, free ride. Yeah.
In August, Souls shot 22-year-old Kyle Blackburn while Blackburn was allegedly trying to break into the senator's home, which the SBI is investigating. Jay says that incident convinced him to come forward. He's afraid Souls will hurt others.
You mentioned that you're worried now.
Yes, definitely. And believe me, this has nothing to do with trying to extort money from him or anything. Money has never been an issue. It's a matter of justice. You know what I mean? I really don't care. I've always been poor. I've had to work for everything I've ever gotten in my life.
Since speaking with us, Jay shared his story with SBI investigators who were already looking into similar allegations made by former client Stacy Scott. The SBI wouldn't comment on the status of the investigation, except to say that it remains open. Dr. Michael Plout is a psychologist specializing in professional client relationships and sexual exploitation. He's former president of the Society of Sex Therapy and Research. He has also heard Jay's entire interview. We asked him if he believes it.
Yeah, I do. It's very difficult. The whole idea of victims having difficulty coming forward is something that happens all the time.
Plout says it's not uncommon for someone to hide their victimization, fearing the consequences if they decide to come forward.
You think you're the only one. You think nobody's going to believe you. They're so powerful. And they keep quiet.
Plout says it's very unlikely someone would make these allegations if they weren't true. He says there's no sign of ulterior motive, and it's likely Jay is telling the truth.
People don't make this kind of thing up. He's taking a risk by coming forward. There's no money to be made for him. He has no advantage. It's not like he wants to sue him. He's not saying that. It's the only time you'll see a fabrication, if there's money to be made, usually. But the number of people who take the risk of coming forward with something like this is very, very low. And you know, if it's fabricated.
What advice, if there are other victims out there?
Come forward. In other words, there's strength in numbers.